Hey baby, do you miss me? You know you do. I'm your addiction. You need me. Give it what you need. Oh, can't you see? I'm your everything. I am the one. I am your son. I am your none. I make you feel so damn right. Baby, I'm your sweet addiction. Leaving me will cause affliction. When we're together, there's no friction. I am what your body's missing. No longer waiting, wishing. Together forever is my prediction. Making you want me is my mission. So hot you can't get out the kitchen. I am the one who makes you feel so good. I'm the one who makes you feel so damn high. I'm the one who puts you in the sky. I'm the one who gives you what you need. Give it what you need. Oh, can't you see? I'm your everything. I am the one. I am the sun. I am your none. I'll make you feel so damn right. So let it go and hold on tight. I am your son. I am your none. I'm that itch you cannot scratch. Make you lie down on your back just so you can get another smack. I love to feel on your tracks, from your arm down to your back. Pressures, don't worry about that. Let me in, let's fade to black. You love me and that's a fact. I am the one who makes you feel so good. I'm the one who makes you feel so damn high. I'm the one who puts you in the sky. I'm the one who gives you what you need. Give it what you need. Oh, can't you see? I'm your everything. I am the one. I am the sun. I am your none. I'll make you feel so damn right. So let it go and hold on tight. I am your son. I am your none. So open up and let me in. Light me up and set me ablaze. I can rock your body for days. I don't care where we stay. On those streets or in the hallway. Let me in and let me play. In the night or in the sun. Because I am the one. Hey baby. Yeah. Do you miss me? You know you do. I'm your addiction. So open up and let me in. And then share me with your friends. Line me up and then let me burn. You will never learn. So open up and let me in. And then share me with your friends. Line me up, then let me burn. You will never learn. Give me what you need. Oh, can't you see? I'm your everything. I am the one. I am the sun. I am your none. I'll make you feel so damn right. So let it go and hold on tight. I am your son. I am your night.
All right, boys and girls, we are back for another episode of Loose Lips.
Yeah.
It's your host,
V.
T-Hog.
Oh.
Co-host V.
Sorry, I didn't know what you said. I couldn't hear you. The music
'Cause-
was really loud
I'm
in my
sorry.
ear. It's beautiful though, by the way.
Oh, yeah,
Nice stuff.
incoming call. I saw that.
Do you know that I can just flip it over
and it
silent?
really?
Yeah,
Sweet.
isn't that pretty cool? I like it.
We have our guest tonight, Sean
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yay.
former candidate for U.S. Senate for
That's
the Democratic Party.
That's right, yes.
The best candidate.
The best candidate.
Yeah, absolutely.
We will talk to him a
Yes.
little bit later about your first run for office, right?
Yes, first run.
So your
yes.
first run for office, you decided to take it low this time and just the U.S. Senate.
Yeah,
you didn't
yeah,
want to
yeah.
put too ambitious and run for president.
Right.
Didn't want to go for president.
Yeah.
Yeah, did
Right.
a warm up.
Next time. Next time.
Next
Next time. Well, next time you could actually run for U.S. president because
There
you
you go.
should be of age.
I might be old enough next
Yes,
year.
yes,
that's right,
at 35,
yes. Yeah,
right?
yeah,
35.
That's right.
So you
I'm
should
on
be
board.
35 in
Yeah.
4 years, 4.5 years, right?
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Watch out, Hillary.
There you go. There you go.
4.5
So
years?
we'll talk about that in
Yeah.
a minute. First, I do want to talk about what I did this weekend. Well,
Let's talk
first,
about you.
before we go to my story, how are you doing, V?
Hi, how are you?
How was your weekend?
It was great.
What did you do?
I sat out at the pool. That's what I did.
Being constructive?
That was it. Yeah, yeah. Might have
There you go.
got a little tan. I ate some stuff too. So it was all really good. It was productive. We didn't have a show yesterday.
I know.
So I got a vacation day. So I literally
We didn't have a
went and
show.
laid at the pool.
Just to let you know, we didn't have a show because there's been an update to
I know. The
Deep-
website. Yeah.
Deep Elm
I
On
love it.
Air
Yeah.
website. It's updates, so you notice that we're actually playing on the homepage today.
On the homepage. So basically, yeah. So
Soon
it's
as you-
easier.
Yes,
So
easier.
you just log on, deepelmonair.com, and it'll pull up the show that's live right now. And if
And-
you want to see the archives, go on to the show
Yeah,
page.
really, it's always going to be on the homepage. But if you want to go watch any of the old archives, you can go click the show page. Or you can click the show page and watch it live there, too, when it is on. But
Yeah.
But
you
right
can
now,
pick it up on the homepage, which is just pretty cool. I
yeah.
like
So
that.
anybody who logs into the show, listens for music, can
Yeah.
see us
Yeah.
first.
Mainly us.
Yeah, that's all
No,
we care
everybody.
about, really.
Everybody. Well, I mean, I like to see myself, but people like to see other people too.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
All right.
no.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. All right.
Let you go. Yeah.
This weekend for me was the and I guess it was it. I'm assuming it must have been everybody's. Because I know the Democrat Party had their convention this week, state convention.
Yeah, they were all this weekend.
Republican
yes.
state convention.
Republicans were over in Fort Worth. Democrats were in Houston.
And Libertarian Party, we were actually in Fort Worth too. Where were the Democrat Party? In Austin?
In Houston.
In Houston.
Yeah.
Because there was someone on my Facebook that was going to that one. I was like, he's driving too, so I was like, hell of a drive. That's,
Yeah.
You know, was that 8 hours to Houston?
No, it's like
No,
4.
it's like
No,
4.
really?
Yeah, it's 4 from Dallas. Yeah,
I
I
never
made it a
drove.
few times in the last year. So
I never
I'm
drove to
not-
Houston.
yeah,
Really?
Houston's-
4?
yeah, it's 4. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Houston so much. It's like it's really humid
a lot of traffic.
there. A lot. Of
I heard the traffic is bad. I did not know it was that close.
One road,
Yeah.
right?
Shit.
Isn't there one road that
Well,
goes
no,
like
I mean
this in
they've
a
got
square?
they've got a loop, and then you've got
a loop.
45.
Yeah.
Well, I heard the traffic's not great.
It's not great.
horrible.
I think
Right.
it was the big when
They
the
could expand.
when they had the big hurricane that came in through, like the last big one came through.
Rita.
Yeah, they still even they had this great plan. It still took everybody forever to leave the city because you
Yeah.
can't
No, it
get through
does.
the traffic.
Yeah, they were stuck in traffic so long they were running out of gas.
Yeah, that was like they were so proud of themselves because they're so much better than New Orleans, but still, if they had no warning, they would be still in the same shit because they can't leave.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, and they were scared because they didn't want. Well, the thing is, they're not like built below sea level either, like New Orleans is. So
Yeah.
no matter what happens in New Orleans, you knock
That's
down
scary.
one wall, you're shit out of luck.
and then Houston doesn't have a lake that sits above it like New Orleans either.
Oh,
Really
yeah.
wasn't planned out well. Actually, I'm
No.
going to New Orleans in a couple weeks too, so
Are you?
hopefully I
Have
enjoy.
fun.
Hopefully there's hopefully no hurricanes.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you'll be fine.
All right, I do want to talk about the convention. First convention for me, small because Libertarian Party is a small party, the third largest in
Yes.
Texas, but small. Not
It's so cute.
my,
I can
okay,
hear you. You're
okay,
great.
all right. It had a weird sound right there, in my ears. And I will talk about we had the Senate debate, and I will show a couple of videos in a minute about the guy who eventually would win the nomination for Libertarian Party, John J. Myers, who actually owns a restaurant just right down the road right here, the Freeman.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so
Freeman.
yeah, little
They
Cajun
used to
restaurant.
cook for my show.
They used to-
A couple of the chefs from there. Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
does he do a libertarian radio show? as
He
well?
did.
He did.
I don't think he's still doing it because I never seen him
Okay.
post it.
I talked to him one time then during the campaign.
Oh,
I
really?
can't-
Yeah.
We should have him on.
Yeah, he used to. I'm gonna ask him, but
Yeah.
he's busy. He's like pulling a 30 because he has to run that restaurant and he's always there.
So scared
I've
of
had him on
rejection.
before. I had him on before,
Yeah.
but
Oh, okay. All
yeah, I
right.
have. But it's just that I don't know if I can get him on.
You can.
Well, I can.
You
I can ask him.
You can do this. Make it happen.
It was the debate itself between them, between there's 6 of them, was interesting. There was the one funniest guy on there who was this guy named Raju. I'll just go with his last name, Dr. Raju, which he's a real doctor.
It's this guy.
Yes, and his
can't read
his
that.
answer for everything was healthcare and homelessness. That was his answer for every economic
Wait.
problems, healthcare, homelessness. If it was
Promoting
the real,
homelessness and
no, he
healthcare.
wanted to end health. You know, he wanted healthcare for everyone and to end
And
homelessness.
Okay.
But that was his. I mean, if
Didn't
it was
know.
if it was the banks, it was healthcare and homelessness. If it was the war, it was health. He only had 2 issues, and he was good at. It wasn't good at those, but that's what he knew. That's what he really. But
Those are the ones he
Yeah.
could remember.
He
that's the
perfected
ones he
them.
can remember.
He made them personal.
But he had one. He had a handout that had 2 pieces of paper. This is the smaller version. He had a bigger one that talks about his life story and everything.
Yeah.
But the most shocking thing, and I'll read this right here. He goes, "I flew to heaven on May 24th, 2002, and back to Earth on July 4th, 2002. USA Independence Day. Heavenly gods instructed him to serve the humanity in USA and in Anika, India."
What? Oh, yeah.
Wait, go ahead and just read that right there. And I read that. I was like, at first I thought he said haven. I was like, maybe he meant haven, not heaven.
Yeah,
and then if
I
you
flew
read
to
it,
heaven.
Yeah.
Yeah. USA Independence Day. Heavenly gods instructed him to serve the humanity in USA and in Anakai, India. I request your confidence vote for Dr. SGR to become the next Senate candidate in the general election on November 6, 2012. And to win with the help of national and Texas and from other parties, I will become all party candidates. I am very confident to win.
yeah, he's
I am
awesome.
very confident to win.
He was.
God's
should
been
use
busy
that.
this
I am
election
very
cycle.
confident to
Did,
win.
did he tell Rick Perry to run for president too?
Yeah.
I think so.
Then he must have told. But then Michelle Bachmann. I'm pretty
He
sure
told
God-
Michelle Bachmann as
to
well.
run
yes,
first.
Yeah, yeah.
He
And then
has
changed
set
his mind,
everybody
yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Who's the other? What's the one from Pennsylvania?
Santorum, yeah.
Santorum. You know, he doubled down and told him
Is
twice.
he gone? He's not. He's out of the picture.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my God. Oh yeah. Every time somebody brings him
Maybe,
up, I'm
maybe
like,
that was
"No!"
maybe that was my
It's like
problem. I didn't have
nightmares.
the God endorsement.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's true.
I knew I did something
You
wrong.
should have
We-
emailed him.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the most embarrassing. I mean,
Or her. Sorry.
it was so bad. It's so bad for Mitt Romney. No one in the Republican side wanted to nominate him. They
I think
pulled.
It's great.
I know, but that's how bad it is for him as a person. That he's so unlikable that nobody in his own party really wanted him.
I'm
Yeah.
excited about
That you know, Santorum was a viable candidate.
Oh yeah.
He couldn't win his own Senate, or was he running for the House?
No, it was Senate.
It was
Yeah,
Senate.
He was
He
a
was- he
senator
was a-
and
he
he
was-
lost re-election.
He lost re-election in his own state, but because they said, "Oh shit, this guy's crazy," you know, he's a freak, you know,
Right.
and the guy who was like against contraceptives, like, and which is okay if you can have those personal views, like
Yes.
me in my household, we're against contraceptives, which
Right,
is fine.
fine.
Everybody can have your personal view.
That. Cool.
He was against it for everyone.
No, yeah. of course.
That's the overreach.
Obviously.
That's
Yeah.
a little bit too far. Plus, you know,
Boundaries.
yeah. Plus, he was really against. He didn't like the gays, and
Right.
and he did say
Those
he had his one
pesky-
comment too. I don't know if you ever. You guys had to see it in the video when he talked about Obama's end government. Did you ever see that video?
No.
It's horrific.
Oh wait, yes,
Just-
I did.
he caught himself halfway
yeah.
through. He goes, and the Obama's. I think he said it in
Yeah,
that
that's
order.
right,
And
yeah.
Obama, not
Right.
the end Obama's government. I,
I mean,
think it was
come on,
And he
Obama's
also-
end government. And he caught like halfway through
Yeah.
like a
And
sentence.
he also had the blah people. He started to say I can't remember the comment, but he started to say black people, and then he caught himself
blah.
and blah. No, and someone called him out, and he said, "No, I was saying blah people."
You know, like
Right.
blah blah blah
Yeah,
people. You know, it
Wow.
was so funny though because you know it's the language he
Like, they might as
uses.
well just follow through.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Screw it. You know.
Yeah,
I mean,
because
you're
he's
you're
already you know
halfway
what
there.
you know
Everyone
who he's going
knows
for.
what you were saying.
Well,
It
he-
almost makes it worse to not finish it.
Yeah.
well,
You
but
know?
the
Like,
thing
come on.
was is that if you watch the video, you could tell that it's language he uses
Yeah.
behind closed doors.
Oh,
it's just
yeah.
it's
Of course.
inbred in his head.
Yeah.
He forgot he was in front of people.
Right.
He
Yeah.
forgot he's in front of camera and mic. He was doing it wasn't even like
he actually grew up in the hood.
Yeah,
I think, you know,
yeah.
so it's just like natural for
yeah,
him.
that's his people's.
That's his peeps. You know.
Yeah, that's what they call him. They
That's
call him
right.
that same
Yeah,
thing.
you know, he's allowed to
He's
say
allowed to
that.
use that word.
Yeah,
yeah. It didn't go so successful for him though. Eventually, well, it was actually very successful because he was
Well,
right there. I mean, just a
Oh,
couple
yeah.
states here and there.
And in the
They-
beginning, he had no money, was way far behind in the beginning. So
He-
considering where he ended up, he did
Well,
really
he
well.
almost bounced out before they went to Florida. I think that was his key state. He's in Florida or Georgia, one of those two. He went back home because his daughter was sick, and his daughter is sick. It's sad. I mean, his daughter does have a debilitating disease, and that's horrible. But I don't believe in a lot of people in the politics say, I'm going back. If he was that concerned, he would never
Right.
went on the race in the
Right.
begin
I
with.
mean, that's a tough
if you
decision
think
to
your
make.
daughter's
You're-
going to die within another
Yeah.
year or so, you
You
know
could-
what?
you
You're going to
postpone.
spend that time with your
You
daughter,
postpone,
and
yeah.
if that's the real case. But he probably just went back because I'm about to lose, and
Yeah.
something changed. I mean, Newt put his foot in his mouth big time, which he always does.
That's good.
And Mitt's so unbearable that the South,
Oh,
which
Mitt's great.
you know,
I'm
the
sorry,
South,
like,
which
I
hates
can't wait.
hates
Excuse me.
Mitt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
said we had to pick somebody, so they picked Rick.
No.
And that's how Rick came back to the limelight.
Oh, yeah.
Pushed the race on for another 2 months.
By the way,
for
I got
for
some
that
juice
side.
on Rick Perry that I will drop as it gets closer.
As it gets
I'm gonna
closer?
hold on to that for a little bit. Yep. I'm
Well,
a Texas girl.
You know, I
know
kind
some
of
stuff.
I feel bad for Mitt Romney actually because you
Oh.
can tell he has no idea what it's like not to be rich. That's why he keeps saying crazy
Oh.
stuff like just get 20,000 from
For
your
your parents.
Yeah.
I know, like,
or, you know, I drive a GM. My wife drives a couple of Cadillacs.
Yeah.
No, Mitt. Most people don't have one Cadillac,
Yeah,
much
yeah.
less two. And
know.
I
Yeah.
kind of feel bad for the guy because
That's
he
why
can't
I don't,
relate.
in the presidential race,
Cadillac.
I can't see. I hear everybody saying it, and I guess if I was the Democrat side, I would say it too. I would say this is gonna be a close race. You know, if the economy fails, because you need people to go out to make sure they vote.
yeah.
Right.
You know, you have to make it seem like it's close. But I
For
can't
sure.
see Mitt winning at all. He's the most unlikable candidate ever. I mean, 20 years ago, hell yeah, he would have been president.
Yeah.
If he wasn't Mormon, 20 years ago, he would have been president. He looks like the typical Republican
yeah,
Oh, yes,
candidate.
absolutely.
He
would've
looks
voted.
like. I mean,
Yeah.
he's the
Our parents
standard
would've voted
image.
for him. Everybody
I mean,
would've
the
voted for
Mormon
him.
hurts
Yeah.
a little bit,
Yeah.
but he's right. He's rich. He's he's everything that most presidents you would see like from 80s back
Yeah.
should be. That's him. He
Oh,
is that
absolutely.
spitting image. But now it's not good to be that rich. And he is super rich. I mean, he's not even a little bit rich. I mean, he funded basically his whole campaign, like $100 million of his own money, to run? Is that the $100 million of his own money just for the primaries?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's not even the general election yet. And that shows you that he's probably got, what, $400 million?
Hey, see, when you're reporting with the Senate, everything's done in ranges,
Eh.
and so he's worth over $250 million. That's all we know.
that
Yeah,
it?
I think he was
Yeah.
before the
nothing.
presidential. I thought
You know
he was
what?
worth
That's not
about
e- that's not
400.
even a
But
lot.
Yeah, you don't
I
know
thought he
the
was worth
you
more
don't
than
know the
that.
exact number. It probably is somewhere around like
Yeah.
400 million.
Yeah.
But they just, like I said, they do it in ranges, so it's.
You know what I would do with 400
I,
million?
I obviously was in the lowest range when I reported, but he's over 250 million. That's all we know. And
That's all
it's
that
like
he-
I
yeah.
said, you're probably right. It's probably around 400 million.
I think it was. I mean, he might, but he blew
Off
$100 million
paper.
in running so far.
Yeah.
So he's probably is closer to 250 than 400
Maybe
now.
now, yeah.
You know, I mean, because but you know, he's gonna get donations and everything. I do want to go ahead.
Can I
and,
just say something really
Sure.
quick? He spent how much a vote? Did you calculate?
30 cents a vote.
30 cents a vote. Yeah. I mean, his campaign. You know, you've got somebody blowing $100 million. I mean, people are starving here, but that's okay. You know, and he spent. You know, he used his money.
But people
to
hate
pull
Mitt though.
together.
If people hated Sean,
I'd
you would
have
have
to
to pay
spend more
$100
than
million.
30
Yeah, they don't hate you
You
when they
can't-
before
no.
they walks into the room. People are like, I mean,
President.
the Republican
Yeah.
Party,
I'm on board.
all like Fox News,
Yeah.
hated Mitt.
Oh, yeah.
Literally hated Mitt, and they try to throw everybody in front of him. When that's your bullhorn right there. That is your megaphone is Fox News.
Oh,
and when you get to the mic and they turn off the megaphone, that's not good.
No, that's not good.
They hated him.
Yeah.
You know, and they couldn't hold him back because the other candidates were horrible. I mean, Rick Perry was. I mean, I don't know how Rick Perry gets elected Texas. I never heard Rick Perry speak before.
That's the thing is people in Austin off the record for years have been saying that Rick Perry is stupid.
Yeah.
That he's one of the dumbest people you'll meet.
What?
Well, he proved it.
And then he
What?
never had to debate anybody
Right.
until
He
the
was silent.
presidential race. I mean, if you notice, he never debated Bill White. He never debated Kay Bailey Hutchinson.
No, yeah,
but,
why?
but then he had to in this presidential race, and he got
He
exposed.
showed his image.
Yes.
I mean,
I
and-
love it when they have to talk.
You know what's amazing
have
though?
to
I always
answer
assumed
questions. You're like,
I always assumed
"Ah."
Rick Perry was rich,
Yeah.
but he's not that rich.
No.
He's not that rich.
David Dewhurst has a lot more money than
Yeah.
Rick Perry
Yeah,
does.
I was shocked. He
He's
just
rich
seems
in
like
ego.
he seems like he should be rich, like some
He
dumb rich jock
is
that
rich.
married into. I mean, that was born into money, but he's the dumb offspring of a dad who's actually smart.
Dumb.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
He's
that's
like,
what he
my
seems like
dad's
he-
a doctor.
Yeah, but
you know,
he's not.
It's kind of like George Bush too.
Well,
you know,
yeah.
Jeb was supposed to be the one.
Well,
that ran
Jed's
for
the talent.
president.
Yeah.
And,
He's the real talent,
and
though.
George was kind of the dumb one.
And he is the dumb one.
Isn't there? There's
The
a
lazy one.
What do we keep electing the dumb sibling, the dumb offspring for our governor?
Yeah.
How are we doing
so their fathers can run it.
I guess
you
so.
know, like we really want their dads.
Let's go ahead and go to that first video. I will show you this first video is going to be with John J. Myers. This is his I guess if I'm right, this should be the introduction speech to
I went to see.
introduce yourself as a candidate.
Pull it up on there.
I don't.
It's over there.
Yeah. right, we are having technical difficulties, so we'll hit those videos later. It's not.
I like to call them detours.
Detours.
You know,
Detours,
sometimes you're heading that way, you got to go the other way.
We'll go into interviewing Sean about
Yeah.
your. We'll go back to those to libertarian.
Yeah.
Just to let you know, it was actually a pretty fun time. It was nice to be around like-minded people, somewhat,
Right.
but we're all different.
Everybody's
you know,
different.
you should. This is one thing I always say. No matter if you're Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, you should never be 100% anything.
No,
Exactly.
exactly.
You should be open-minded
you
and
can't.
debate.
You
Oh
can't be
God,
no, that's
they're
ridiculous.
worse. There's some people that are out there
No,
that
I
are
know.
like that.
Yeah.
Like
Like, I'm very firm believer in Texas gun. Like, I want guns. Like, I think I should have a right to carry. Damn it, I'm from Texas, and I feel.
well,
that,
I mean,
but
they give you
everything
one once you come out the womb, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I got mine. It was
Yeah.
like I was born and
Yeah.
they,
They
handed me
just
a
dropped
gun.
one
Yeah,
on
yeah.
you. Here.
Well, I
Yeah.
grew up in the hood, so mine was like
Hey,
it was
hey,
an Uzi.
They give you. Yeah.
Let
Yeah.
me see if I can. I think I might have fixed it. Can y'all want to try it again?
Sure.
Let's do it.
That's all right.
All right.
Oh, I heard that. Still difficulty. That's all right.
Detour.
So when they gave you a pink gun and they gave you a blue gun, I wasn't born in Texas.
Whatever. I had an Uzi.
They gave you a pink one.
A pink one.
Come on.
Pink Uzi.
They had
The
gave me a pink one.
with polka dots. All right.
Yeah, with polka dots. I don't care. It's
We'll
all-
go ahead and let's go ahead and start talking about your race that you
Yes.
ran. How long were you on the
Bum, ba-da-bum,
campaign
bum,
for? Was it 2 months, 3 months?
No.
Oh, was
I've
it
been doing
no.
it
For a year?
18 months. Yeah,
Oh,
about a
18
year and a
months.
half. Yeah.
So
It started a while ago.
Yeah, I actually filed paperwork 3 days before Kay Bailey Hutchison retired, which is whose
Oh,
seat I
that's
was going
interesting.
for.
You filed paperwork.
Yeah,
That's
I
good.
know,
That's
unlike
good.
someone else in the race, yeah.
We'll talk about that. Yeah, that's good. He filed
Yeah.
the paperwork.
that is.
Thank you for
that's-
doing that.
that's
Thank you
kinda-
for following
Well,
the process.
I believe in the law.
Yeah, thank you.
Well-
I do too.
And there's some controversy about what happened. There's a runoff actually in the Democratic
Yes.
Party, and there's a runoff in the Republican Party.
Mm-hmm.
Funny enough, for you to run, what were some of the major barriers that you found to this whole process?
One, that I wasn't from the party establishment. That seemed to upset a lot of people in Austin.
Right.
And I guess the only other thing was raising the money.
Right.
Texas is such a huge state. It's so expensive to get your message out there.
Mm-hmm.
And after Bill White raising $24 million and just getting demolished by Rick Perry, none of the big donors wanted to give any money.
Right.
And so we had to do it all on small donations. So those were probably the two most difficult things, were
Right.
the roadblocks
Funds.
put up by the party itself, and then
It's
and then
ridiculous.
the money.
It makes
yeah.
it impossible to run
Well-
as just, a guy.
For you to move up in the party, because that essentially, if you ever wanted,
President.
not move
Oh,
up for
sorry.
bigger, for just
Okay.
move up in the party itself, Democratic Party.
Focus.
Would you have to do that? I mean, if you ever ran for major election, do you think that's a must to move up in the establishment of the Democratic Party itself?
No, if the money, if you can get money, yeah, you can just go around them. Really,
Yeah.
who was it? I'm trying to think. Texas Tribune just came out with an article how this race in particular kind of exposed how there's not much left of the Texas Democratic Party.
Right.
They don't do a whole lot.
No, they don't.
And they don't have
Yeah,
the funds for
I
it. They don't.
witnessed-
They
Well-
don't have the funds for it. For
Right.
one, they're spent. I think they're spent in pretty bad financial shape right now.
Well, they're still
So
sort of
I
supporting
think
the old
I
money.
think you can still go around it. It makes it more difficult. But I don't think I would have to come in and be friendly with the establishment and do
Because
it again.
there is no
But, I mean,
establishment.
yeah, exactly.
Well-
Basically, there's not much of an establishment.
It-
And somebody was showing me I wasn't at the convention. I had to go to California and drive a car back. But at the convention, they had.
You don't have a driver?
No, I don't have a driver. They had a.
Mitt is so disappointing.
I
in you.
know.
Yeah.
I know. Mitt is disappointed in me right
Yeah,
now.
no, he
So
looks
is
out.
David Dewhurst, by
Yeah.
the way.
He's
I'm
wondering
sure.
why you didn't fly your private
I know,
jet.
Exactly.
Where's your jet?
But they
Yeah.
had this welcome sign, "Welcome to the Democratic Convention," and I swear I would have thought it was a NASCAR event because it had so many corporate sponsors for the convention.
Yes.
Really?
As
So they can
AT&T,
afford it?
Comcast.
They really should wear the suits. I've been saying
and I
that for a
thought,
long
wow,
time.
if that's what I've got to do, I don't think I'm interested in doing
yeah.
it.
That's a hard thing. Like,
yeah.
I know we've talked a little bit before about that. Like, what would you do when you get in and you're faced with the same obstacles? Because there are a lot of people that go into politics and run and do things like this because they believe in an idea and they really feel that they can change things and move people. And then they get in and they're sort of blocked. You
Yeah.
know, they're stopped, because old money, it's the good old boys club, kind of mentality.
And that's why we have to have campaign finance reform. I
Yeah.
think we have to get
We
to a
have
system of
to.
publicly financed campaigns because it's not going to change until we do
Yeah.
because everyone's still going to be indebted to the same big donors, the same PACs, the same corporate lobbyists.
Yeah.
So nothing changes.
Nothing
Well,
changes.
would you run again after this experience?
Yeah, I would. I'm not saying no. I get asked that question constantly now, and I joke that if I'd have known I was going to get asked that so much, I wouldn't have done it the first time. But I know it would just have to be the right circumstance. There would have to be enough money there for me to run because I just proved that you can't do it without the money.
Right. No, I think you can, and
Well-
you have momentum, and so you keep running.
So
with that
it would have to be.
momentum.
And a lot of people ask me about 2014, but I don't think 2014's the right situation
Yeah.
to run, especially being a Democrat, because off-year elections are always rough on Democrats because it's lower turnout.
Right.
Democrats don't show up in
Isn't it
off-year.
sad?
Actually, it's a
non-presidential
great
years.
time to run if you're a libertarian.
It is. It really is.
It's
Yeah.
the best time to run
All right.
because no one shows up.
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
No one shows up
really
as it is,
And
but really no one
right,
shows up.
And
I mean,
that's a big thing as well that I want, that I was
You-
really
upset.
upset
You-
about
you were
because
really
the voter
upset.
turnout,
Yeah.
know, and aside the fact that very few showed up, I mean, you still managed to get
80,000 votes, yeah.
80,000
which
thousand
I thought was
votes.
pretty amazing. To be honest with you, that's a
Yeah,
lot
we
of
were
votes.
excited. But
You did good in North
For
Texas, didn't you?
18
I thought
months.
you did
Yeah,
good in
yeah.
Dallas. I thought, if I was right.
We sat down that night, me and the campaign staff at the People's Last Stand, which we thought was appropriate for our election
Yeah.
party. And we all just kind of looked at each other and said, okay, what would we have done differently? And not one of us would have done anything differently other than
Yeah.
raise more money, which is something we couldn't control. And so we were all satisfied at the end of the night. Obviously disappointed that I didn't at least make the runoff, but satisfied with the campaign that we had run.
Right.
Uh,
You definitely ran a great campaign, and you were very honest and forefront, and that's what I fell in love with. It was just this guy's real, and he's not afraid to answer whatever it is, any question.
And I think we probably pushed Paul Sadler,
Yeah.
the guy who's the likely nominee, in directions where I'm more comfortable on some of the issues like marriage equality
right.
and
Yeah.
repealing Citizens United and things like that. I think we
Right.
pushed him, and women's issues as well.
That's
We
one
pushed
thing
him
that
because if you look at his record as a state legislature, he was more to the right than I was on those issues. But during the course of the campaign, he moved more to the left. So we
Right.
can say we accomplished that.
Yeah, I really felt that it was really solution based. Your even your handouts, the door hangers.
Yes.
It was transparent. You knew what he was running on. You knew the platform, and it was just like that bullet points, like here, and actually offering solutions for some of the things that people are, protesting about.
Well,
even,
that's what happened with the debate we had in Houston. If you saw the debate, we had a big debate with the Republicans and Paul Sadler
Yeah.
and I, and they did an online poll after the debate. And it was after hearing the candidates, who do you want to be your next U.S. Senator? I won with 39% of the vote. Ted Cruz had 33%, and no one else got more than 10%.
Pretty cool.
And what I did in that debate, and a lot of people said they liked it, was I just answered the question.
You did.
And, every other candidate took their entire time on each question and never really got around to answering. And I just gave a short answer where I stood, what I thought needed to be
Right.
done. And people really responded to it. I had Republicans emailing me and messaging me on Facebook saying, hey, I really liked what you had to say. It's sad my party doesn't have any good candidates.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It's refreshing.
Well,
And
the
I
thing
think
is,
people need
well,
that. Yeah.
And the thing is, for this race, and that's what I'm hoping for. And if we do get the video running, you see John Jay's an excellent debater. I mean, that's his thing. Is
Is
the
he a
speech.
master debater?
He's a master debater. And I assume
Five.
I'm under the assumption that whoever the Republican Democrat nominees are going to be, that they're not, that they're probably not great debaters, great speakers.
Oh, okay.
I assume because
Wait.
a lot of the times, just like Rick Perry, they have money. Maybe
Yeah.
they bought their way to where
Yeah.
they got.
Yeah.
No, they've
and
already got
having been
their-
in a debate with these guys, I'll tell you, Lieutenant Governor Dewhurst is not going to debate anybody if he's the nominee. It's not going
Oh,
to happen.
yeah.
He's going to pull
No,
the Rick
you
Perry,
shut
Karl
up.
Rove thing is just not
Yeah.
say anything.
Stop
If it's
talking.
Ted Cruz is cocky enough that he thinks he's the smartest guy in the room
Oh.
always, and so he'll debate. He may not want a
He's a
libertarian
proven
on there,
conservative.
but I guarantee you if
He's
if
a
he
proven
on there,
conservative.
if he gets
That's weird.
Cheers.
that was weird. And
I threw my voice. Sorry, guys. It's been a rough night.
But if Ted Cruz agrees to debate, say
No,
Paul,
Ted Cruz won't want a libertarian on there.
no,
Yeah.
he won't. But if he agrees to debate Paul Sadler, if Paul Sadler's a Democratic nominee, Paul will fight to get the libertarian on there.
Right.
Well, that's what I said. That's what I said. If I
Because
was,
they excluded the other two Democratic candidates from the debate we had with the Republicans, and it was, I mean, they had good reason because the other two hadn't done a lot of campaigning. They one of the guys hadn't filed paperwork at all, and so they didn't invite them. But Paul actually kind of let the station have it, and the organization that was putting it on said, hey, it's not fair. You ought to have them on too.
Yeah,
And so I guarantee you Paul Sadler will fight to get the Libertarian included in the debate.
That's
great.
exactly what
That's
I
good.
told him this weekend. I said, it's the best thing we got to do is you need to contact
Right.
the Democrat nominee and beg them to fight for you to get into the
Right,
debates
yeah.
because they will
Yeah.
need you.
It is not about the party. It is about the better candidate.
Well, it's
who-
not so much that. It's a
really,
political
the
move.
better
It's
yeah.
a political move. If you're the Democrat side, you can't win.
Yeah.
You can't win.
So you put in somebody.
You
great.
put in someone to
That's
take
it.
votes away from the
Yeah,
Republican side.
Yeah,
Yeah, you need-
absolutely.
you-
And the
could-
Libertarian and John will kill
Right.
the Republican side on his own issues because the Republican sides are not conservative.
Yeah.
They're I don't know what
Wait.
they're social conservatives.
Right.
They're not fiscal conservatives because they actually spend like crazy too. So they're social conservatives in the sense they want to tell you how to live your life.
Right.
But they don't actually believe in conservatism the way
Right.
libertarian like
Right,
way
they have three
I think more
Cadillacs.
Texans believe in more in libertarianism
Yeah.
than the social conservative. Well, there is still Texas is still part of the South, so there's
don't
at
know.
least part of the South,
Right.
and there's that social conservative that lives in Texas for a
Right.
percentage.
But
It's
you
the
know, if you had
hypocritical-
if
it's
you
the
had a
hypocr-
year that a Libertarian could do well, this would be the year. Because
Yeah.
social issues aren't going to be as important because everybody's concerned about the economy and concerned about
Right.
the deficit. And if Dewhurst is your nominee, conservatives aren't going to be happy, and they're already not happy with Mitt Romney being the
Yes.
presidential nominee. So if a Libertarian was going to do well, this would be the
This
year
is the year.
for it. Yes,
and
absolutely.
well, the plan is what I would.
I said keep dreaming.
Yeah. Well, what
I support you.
well, I'm not
well,
not
no,
love it.
predicting
you're not,
a win.
You're not talking about win. What you're trying,
Yeah,
what you do
but
is
taking away
the
votes.
same thing
I
with
get it, I
Sean.
get it. Yeah,
If
it's,
I was Sean, if I was you, this is what I would do. The same thing I hope John Jay does.
Yeah.
Through the next, if he tries to run again, with your experience, you got exposure.
Absolutely.
You were competitive, so you can't. You might not become senator, but a U.S. representative is not out the question.
Oh yeah.
If you can target a place and go, this person is a weak candidate. I have the experience. I showed you. I ran for senator. I got 80,000 votes, but 33 cents per vote. You can. That's statistics. So you can show
Oh,
that.
yes.
We'll put it on
Same
the-
thing.
we'll get
for,
your resume
Same thing
builder.
for John. Same thing for John Jay. He can do the exact same
Yeah.
thing.
Oh,
He's going
yes.
to get that experience. If he gets high enough, you're a name. Someone will
Oh, yeah,
recognize that, and that's what
absolutely.
matters. You don't always. Your race is not always about today.
Yeah.
It's really what you plan on doing tomorrow.
Well, now
Yeah.
I can go back to, if I decide to run again, I can go back and I've got the video from the Houston debate that,
Right.
like I said, that everyone, that anyone that saw the debate, if I always say, if that would have been broadcast on a major network here in
Right.
Texas, it wouldn't
Which
have been
is
a close
yeah.
race. I'd be the nominee
Which
right
is
now.
a whole other
Unfortunately,
issue.
it was Houston Public Television. Not a
Right.
lot of people watched it, and it didn't broadcast in every city,
Yeah.
and
And that's something
Dallas
that a
was
lot of
delayed
people
a few
don't
days,
know.
and
That's something that a lot of people don't understand.
Yeah.
You do not get mainstream media play. You are not on Channel 4.
No.
You are not on Channel 5. You are not on 8. You're not on
And-
any
and
of
the
these
sad thing
mainstream
is-
channels.
It's you're only running for the U.S. Senate. It's
Yeah,
not like it's
right.
an important position.
Right.
I mean,
and
because
the
Yeah.
Houston Chronicle wrote a really nice article on me that came out right before the election.
Right.
Burn Orange
think I read that. Yeah,
wrote
Burn
a really
Orange.
good profile on me. But other than that, and I shouldn't include Burn Orange in there because they're not major media; they're a blog. But
Right.
Other than really the debate in the Houston Chronicle article, the major media ignored me.
No, yeah.
I got a couple newspapers where I called the editors and let them have it because
Good.
they said Paul Sadler was the only Democrat running a serious campaign.
Wow.
And I
Yeah.
thought, really? Because you should check my list of endorsements, and you should have seen how I won the Houston debate. And
You kicked ass.
but
by the way,
thank
people
you.
should look that up. YouTube it.
Yeah.
Houston debate.
but
Sean Hubbard.
but I've got I've got those things now that I can, like you said, if I go to run for another office now, I can say, hey, look at this, I've done this before. I
and you
did
learn
well
how to.
at it.
And the
Yeah,
same thing
exactly.
with John Jay. He actually ran for U.S. representative before, so he learned about commercials. Really, he learned how to get commercial on cable TV, how cheap it is, what times like you can
Oh,
get
yes.
a local commercial on the Daily Show for like $80.
Here it's
Wow.
like
If
a
you
million five,
if you
but
predict
we'll
the
bill you.
because you can put a commercial for a certain precinct, like a certain area.
Right.
Yeah,
And this, I just want this commercial to show in this area, and it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
$80, you know.
probably
on
by
John-
zip codes or something.
Yeah,
Right.
you do it by it's like area code. Yeah. So you
mean,
you
yeah.
can strategy once you learn how to do that.
Oh no, the veterans, the incumbents. I mean, here in Dallas, because I experienced that, campaigning out
Yes.
here, and I experienced, the incumbents, the ones, the EBJ and the John Wiley Price. Wow, like they had all the airtime, everything was just like consumed by them, and it was
Even if it's negative,
even if it's negative, doesn't matter.
because Price,
It doesn't matter. EBJ didn't actually. She didn't show up for any debate or any event or
They
any.
won't.
Any, no,
No,
she-
they
because
won't.
Why? She doesn't have
Well,
to. She
Because
has the
if you don't
position.
say anything, you
Yeah.
can't mess up.
No, exactly. You can't.
That's what it
mess up.
comes down to.
Yeah.
And that's why Dewhurst won't debate anybody for the U.S.
Well,
Senate.
I'm hoping that
Dewhurst,
he
he
would.
won't.
I was hoping that there's maybe an outside shot because no one knows who he is. He's a Republican. That's all he has to be, really.
So
to win.
what's going on with Ron Paul? Anybody?
Nah,
heard from him?
he's dropped.
Oh, he dropped
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
I
He
hear-
suspended
hear
his
that and
campaign,
then
I
I
think is
don't.
what he called
Hey,
it.
I actually have a little bit of news
Yeah?
about Ron Paul.
Uh-huh.
Basically, his supporters, him and Rand Paul, their supporters are like totally jumping ship now because he's basically supporting Romney.
I know.
Oh.
It pissed
See,
us off
that's
too.
what I
Oh,
was
is he
gonna-
supporting
yeah.
Romney now?
That's true.
Aaron Rand.
'Cause-
Oh, Aaron Rand.
Yeah, if you
Rand
notice,
Rand Paul.
They
Rand
never,
Paul.
They never
Endorsed
debated.
him.
They never had a debate.
Oh, see, I
Mitt
missed that. I
Romney
didn't see that.
and Ron Paul. Right?
No, Ron Paul was on some of the presidential debates.
he was in a
With
bunch
Mitt
of
Romney?
them.
he was in, yeah.
Well, the
yeah.
only thing was,
I mean, it wasn't like the two of them, but it was when
well,
everybody.
the thing was,
everybody
the thing
together.
that bothered me about Ron Paul when we talk about the media, they might not like Mitt, they
Right.
hated Ron Paul.
Right.
Oh,
They would
absolutely.
ignore him completely. Embarrassment. It's like
Well, it's the whole in the war thing.
Well,
like really?
no,
I mean, I'm for it.
Is
but
there
I'm
is
just
there
saying, people are
one
like, what?
is there one
the
thing
war.
that Romney has supported that Paul? I mean, one. Can you give me one thing that?
that
Yeah.
Romney support and Ron Paul
Yeah.
supports.
Hey,
Nothing.
Intern, look that up.
Nothing. There's nothing. I mean, they're complete opposites.
Yeah,
The
they
complete
are.
opposites.
Oh, yeah.
It sucks that he would do that.
It
and
doesn't make any sense.
yeah,
I understand.
that
I was,
really is
I was
horrible.
kind of
Some deals
surprised
going on
he didn't
there.
even think about, since he's not running for his seat in Congress again, that he didn't think about running as a libertarian. Just
just to give us some recognition
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he would have done it.
because if they can get a certain percentage as a third party,
Mm-hmm.
you can make your nominee the next time eligible for the federal funds.
Yeah,
Ah.
yeah.
For
And that's really
Those
what you
are
want to
the
do.
tricks.
You want
Yeah,
to
yeah.
tap into federal funds.
Yeah.
And that's like you were saying, maybe it's not about this election; it's
all
about the
about
next one. So
election.
that's why I was kind of surprised that Ron Paul didn't.
And
at least
and
try
I don't
it.
understand. What I didn't understand is that why he didn't become a libertarian. Why he was a U.S. representative.
Right.
At least during this, he wasn't going. He's not running again. That's it.
Yeah.
He's out.
I think
So he
it's
should
some
just
sort
turn
of
libertarian.
Strategic. It was strategic. He felt somehow that's where he needed to
Well,
be.
I mean,
I think
there was a-
there was a strategy.
I heard an
behind it,
argument that was pretty interesting. They're talking about progressives in the Progressive Party in the early 20th century. Like 19.
Teddy Roosevelt.
Yeah, he
Right.
he was part of the Progressive Party, but it really wasn't him that much. What it was a Progressive Party was a third party, just like the Libertarian Party is, but what they did was they barely won any elections. But what they did was they infiltrated both parties
Right.
a lot, and they
No,
passed
yeah.
a lot of legislation by
Yeah.
infiltrating the parties.
That's the thing.
Same with the thing that Tea Party tried to do, but they're just
Right.
horrible.
I say invade. People want to evade politics and kind of step away from it and not participate. And bullshit. Invade. You have
Well,
to invade.
yeah, oh, yeah,
You have to
absolutely.
invade.
And that's what I assume Ron Paul was trying to do was,
You have
but
to
he's
invade.
he's such a minority. He
Right.
can't.
Yeah, I'm really surprised like he didn't just go libertarian because you can be a third party and caucus with either the Republicans or Democrats. Senator Bernie Sanders is not a Democrat; he's
No.
an independent socialist.
Yeah.
But he caucuses with the Democrats.
Yeah.
So you can still do that. So yeah, I'm kind of surprised he never did
should
it.
have. He should have went libertarian, and he could have ran. I mean, we have Governor Gary Brown is our presidential
Right.
candidate, which he was
No.
governor of New
New
Mexico,
Mexico, yes.
for 2 terms. I guess he had a very successful time there. He left them with a. They didn't have a debt. They were in deficit. They actually had surplus when he left. I don't know if they
Right.
still do. In a completely Democratic state. He was a libertarian candidate, or I guess was he Republican or libertarian?
No, he was libertarian.
He was
I think.
libertarian
Wait,
candidate. He was a Republican.
He might have been Republican,
but he
yeah.
was he's essentially a libertarian. That's how
Right.
his views were.
Yeah.
And now he's running for the president. And we know he actually got into all 50 states. He won't win. We know
So
that.
he's running now. As
He's
what?
he's a libertarian presidential
Oh,
candidate.
and
He was actually on Daily Show not too long
Have
ago.
you Roseanne Barr? She's running. She's running for president. You haven't heard that?
No.
It's
no.
all over the Twitter. You gotta get on it.
Yeah,
She's being loud and
Is that kind of like the Craig James 5 Dead Hookers thing?
I don't know what you're talking about. I wasn't there. But yes, Roseanne Barr.
He didn't do so well.
She's thrown
No,
her name
no.
in the hat. She's been.
She's
kind
not
of
too
campaigning
bright.
in
I mean, she's
California.
rich. She got rich, but if you ever hear her
I don't
speak now,
know.
she is
Yeah,
Horrible.
She's a little
true.
crazy too.
She's
isn't she?
crazy.
Yeah.
You can tell she's not really thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It's
feel
all
like she
emotion.
trained me though to just blurt out anything I wanted. She did. I grew up watching Roseanne Barr, and she said whatever the fuck she wanted.
But
And I
now
was
she's
like,
not
yeah.
as good as before. It's like she lost her fastball.
Yeah, I haven't
Yeah.
seen
You,
her.
you see her now, and it's really sad.
You know
she's
what?
she's
It's
not
when
so
she-
witty and quick like
No,
she used to be.
It's
no.
when she won the lottery on the show, you know, and they got really
Christ.
rich, and then they
That-
just like that they lost it. Like that
Yeah.
was
It was even before that, but it was really that. You're
no,
like,
because
really?
at least they were poor and you could accept that behavior. But then they won the lottery, and
And-
then they got
In Roseanne.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
watched
saw-
the show
did you
growing
watch
up.
it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I watched it. Yeah.
It got really bad
They
this last
switched
couple
Yeah, yeah, it
seasons.
did,
It
yeah.
was like, holy shit.
Hey, y'all, but do y'all remember when they brought back the old Becky?
yeah,
Yes,
that
yes.
was pretty cool.
That
Yeah.
was
I was
about to say
awesome.
that.
They were
It
like the
did-
first show to do that.
And
to,
they
like,
and they
switch
did
somebody
like
out.
they had that one episode where they had both Beckys coming in. They turn around, I was like, which one's which? You know, because
Yeah.
like,
Oh, yeah, I remember that, yeah.
that was
Yeah,
interesting.
Roseanne, if you're watching, 214-741-9111.
Yes,
We
call
wanna hear
in.
about your
We want to hear about your
campaign.
campaign, even though we call you a little bit slow now.
What? I mean, so what? You know.
You know, everybody gets slow in age.
You know what? Yeah, some people.
If she
I
shows up,
believe-
I'm gonna
yeah.
sneak out the back. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
After
worry.
we called
she
her
would
slow.
Love you. Yeah, no shit. Sorry.
All right. All right.
cussing.
Let's go
Oh, it's the
ahead.
internet. Never mind.
Do you want to go ahead and take our first break?
Okay.
I don't think the videos. We'll work on the
Yeah,
videos.
let's
I feel
take a
like
break
I
so I
had-
can go up
oh,
and find Jimmy
Really
and see
quick,
if
when
we
we
can
come
figure
back,
it
can
out.
we talk about the candidate that did not file properly in this?
Oh yes,
Debate
that'll
here.
be a
We
lot of
didn't-
Yeah,
fun. Yes.
yeah,
Let's
we'll
talk
do
about
that.
that.
We'll do that when we come back. And news.
Took a lot of
and
votes.
news.
I've been searching for something, but I can't see anything at all. I'm higher than I've ever been, and I don't think that I'll fall down. Higher than you. You get lost in your pockets, your eyes falling out of the sockets in your head. You're trying the straight and the narrow. Which direction will you follow now? I can't see the forest from the trees, and I can't tell the sky from the sea. I can't tell if you're talking to me, 'cause I can't surrender my sickness. Angry at the mirror. When will my heart be clear and free? My head spinning like a dancer, but I can't find the answers to my problems. Higher than you, so much higher than you. I can't see the forest from the trees, and I can't tell the sky from the sea. I can't tell if you're talking to me, 'cause I can't surrender my sickness. Well, I can't see the forest from the trees, and I can't tell the sky from the sea. I can't tell if you're talking to me, 'cause I can't surrender my sickness. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm high. Fuck it. When am I not high? You know what I'm saying? So fuck you. Okay. You know it's the clouds, we never come down. Might come close once in a while, but we ain't touching the ground. They loving my style, them niggas is foul. So I don't give them shit, I give they bitch some dick in the smile. They say I'm bad boy, you should get used to me. Cause bad boy just ain't bad like they used to be. So I spit this rap shit truthfully. Paint pictures with my words just for you to see. To show you I'm living these rhymes, no lies, I does it. Cause these other sucker niggas come a dime a dozen. They ask me what you doing, fam, I say I'm grinding, cousin. Cause I be damn if I been killing all these rhymes for nothing. And we leave it at that, fuck it. Cause I don't know how they be talking when they facing my back. In public, I tell them haters bye-bye, my chick give them the side eye. But I keep it mellow cause I been twisting that lie. So I fly by him on some flyer shit. She know I spit, hope I get rich so I can buy her shit. But that's for suckers like you know who. The type of stiff the trick is just for a chick, but then leave none for your crew. Unfortunately, the whole world is full of suckers, it's true. So I stick to my grip, put a light to my spliff. I'm never writing my shit and they know it, so I don't even have to say it. But hey sucker nigga, you through. Ha! Don't be mad. I mean if the shoe fits, right? It's Loose Temple, Hollywood J. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm high. Fuck it. When am I not high? You know what I'm saying? So fuck you. Okay. You know it's the clouds, we never come down. Might come close once in a while, but we ain't touching the ground. They loving my style, them niggas is foul. So I don't give them shit, I give they bitch some dick in the smile. They say I'm bad boy, you should get used to me. Cause bad boy just ain't bad like they used to be. So I spit this rap shit truthfully. Paint pictures with my words just for you to see. To show you I'm living these rhymes, no lies, I does it. Cause these other sucker niggas come a dime a dozen. They ask me what you doing, fam, I say I'm grinding, cousin. Cause I be damn if I been killing all these rhymes for nothing. And we leave it at that, fuck it. Cause I don't know how they be talking when they facing my back. In public, I tell them haters bye-bye, my chick give them the side eye. But I keep it mellow cause I been twisting that lie. So I fly by him on some flyer shit. She know I spit, hope I get rich so I can buy her shit. But that's for suckers like you know who. The type of stiff the trick is just for a chick, but then leave none for your crew. Unfortunately, the whole world is full of suckers, it's true. So I stick to my grip, put a light to my spliff. I'm never writing my shit and they know it, so I don't even have to say it. But hey sucker nigga, you through. Ha! Don't be mad. I mean if the shoe fits, right? It's Loose Temple, Hollywood J.
All right, boys and girls, we are back.
Yeah.
We have one subject we want to talk about before we go to the news.
That's
was an issue that happened in the Democratic primaries.
Yes.
Someone
Epic failure. I'm sorry. I'm so disappointed.
there's a runoff right now in the Democratic Party.
Yes, there is.
There would have been, I guess, 3 candidates in the runoff.
No. There's only ever 2 candidates in the runoff. If one candidate,
That
the way the
candidate
law
got
works,
second place.
Holy
Shit!
If
I thought he
one
got
candidate
third.
doesn't
That's why I
get,
couldn't figure it out.
if one candidate doesn't get 50% plus 1 vote, it goes to a runoff with the top 2 candidates.
Yeah, and that's what I thought it was. It's supposed to throw me off. I said, well, runoff, it can't be 1, 2, and 3.
Right.
You were in 4th place, weren't you?
I got 4th. Yes.
Whatever.
Well, I'm just
You got
saying.
first
if
in the hearts of
I
Americans.
got first in B's heart. So.
That's right. You did. So that makes you a winner. It's true.
Yep.
It's true.
There we
Yeah.
go.
And so there's a runoff right now.
There's a
But the
runoff.
person who got second place is not eligible. Is that
No. See, the way it works is the state regulates the election.
Mm-hmm.
The Federal Elections Commission regulates the finances. So you're dealing with 2 different entities.
Uh-huh.
He's still eligible to run, but he's facing possible civil and criminal charges for never filing any paperwork with the Federal Elections Commission, which as a candidate for U.S. Senate, you file it with the U.S. Senate first, and then it goes to the Federal Elections
There's
Commission.
sort of a protocol. But
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of
and
have to follow the
it's not a
rules.
choice. Within 15 days of publicly declaring yourself a candidate, you have to file this paperwork.
So it's not pro-choice.
And then you have and every quarter you have to file a financial report on expenditures and contributions, and he hasn't filed any of that, despite
many
him
votes?
being told
Right.
that he needed to do this. He hasn't done it. So he's headed into the runoff. Paul Sadler could possibly be the Democratic nominee because of his last name.
And
Right.
Which is, I was
still-
saying, but before the name, his last name is Yarborough, which is very similar
Common,
to
yeah, I've heard it.
a former very popular Democratic senator named Ralph Yarborough.
Mm-hmm.
With that name in a low turnout primary or low turnout runoff,
He
he
can
could
take it.
possibly be the Democratic nominee and never have filed any Federal Elections Commission paperwork.
Wow. Could you imagine his first day on the job and they arrest him?
Well,
Yeah.
He won't do the
problem,
job. He still has to run for the Senate.
that's true.
The problem is if he gets to the runoff, the Republicans are going to file the complaint against
Right.
him, and then what's that going to do?
Here's the thing,
It's not
though.
so much about what it does to the Senate race
Right.
because there's not much of a chance for Democrats to win.
Right.
But
it's
what
unfortunate
but what
because
it
I think
do-
we're there.
But what
Yeah.
it does is it hurts every down ballot candidate on the Democratic ticket. There's some good candidates out there. I know a lot of them from traveling around the state.
Absolutely.
That are going to really be hurt when our top of the ticket candidate is a guy who never filed Federal Elections Commission
Right.
paperwork and is facing possible charges. And so
Not good.
that's why
Yeah.
I've actively supported Paul Sadler since I've lost,
good.
because Paul Sadler's a good guy to begin with, and you have to like him because his wife's a hairstylist like mine. So.
Right, that's
But
awesome.
we
Yeah,
struck up a friendship on the
Right.
campaign trail, and he's
Well, my
he's a
thing
good
is,
guy. Was
yeah.
a good legislator. Got a pay raise for teachers and lots of
Right.
good stuff. And the fact of the matter is, you can't have your top of the ticket nominee embarrass the party.
Right.
And
No,
Because
you can't.
and it's
You
not so
cannot.
much for the party, it's for the good candidates that are running for local races, that
Right.
are running for U.S. House races, state House races,
Mm-hmm.
that are going to be hurt by that and through no fault of their own.
And that's the thing. The misconception is a lot of people are, it doesn't work. The process doesn't work. These people aren't doing anything for us. But there are candidates. There are people that are in these positions that really do give.
Oh, yes.
They do care.
Yes.
To put it like,
and honestly, really what hurt us was the young people didn't show up. We were counting
Yeah.
a lot on the young vote, me being a young candidate, and they just didn't show up.
Yeah. And I think because a lot of them feel what can they do? And I think people are always looking at it on a grand scale. And what they need to do is just look at what your individual part is and your individual action. And if you're 18 years old, if you're old enough to vote, then you should participate in the process. You should participate.
Oh yeah.
How else do you have a say?
And for the love of God, research your candidates before
Please.
you vote for some.
It's
Don't
really
vote for
easy.
somebody because you recognize the name.
Oh, straight tickets? Don't even get me
Yeah,
started
yeah,
on straight
just-
tickets.
That's one thing that did bother. One person did say,
Err.
and I think it was someone who
No.
was actually running one for
Right.
the Senate nominee of the Libertarian Party says, I always vote straight ticket Libertarian. I'm like, no.
No.
You can't
Go
vote.
through.
One thing is you can't
Find
vote
it.
straight ticket because Libertarian's not in every
Yeah.
Right.
office. So go through. This is what I always said. This is what we
I
talked
go
about
through
last
it.
week was go through and vote against the guy who has no shot in hell winning. Like,
Yeah,
usually
yeah.
it's almost always Republicans.
The underdog.
If it's a Democrat, vote him. If it's a Libertarian, vote him. If it's a Green Party, vote that. If it's the neo-Nazi Party, vote that guy too.
Like, here's the thing,
because
though. When
the
you
Republicans
register-
never feel
yeah,
scared.
But when you register to
Never.
vote, they give you your voter registration card. It tells you the precinct. You can go and look up that precinct, and you can see who's running in that area.
The Dallas Morning News has a great voter guide
they
every
do.
year, every election year
Yes,
on
they
their
do.
website. You punch in your address,
And
and
then-
it gives you every candidate running in every race that you can
Right.
vote in. Has as long as those
Information on all
as
of
long as
them.
those candidates filled out the questionnaire, it's got
Right.
information on them.
Well, this is the talk about
That's the
what
thing,
we
it's
talked
so
about
easy.
again last week was the vote or die
Right.
thing. And I
Voter die.
what-
Well, although I believe that I am surrounded by zombies. Everybody is already dead. They're already dead. They're around me.
So
They're
no one can
already dead
vote?
because they're not. You know, you can
Well-
scream as loud as you want, but if you're not actually participating, that's why I say it. Thank you. There they are. You hear them? Did you, or was that
Yeah,
just
yeah.
me?
Yeah, no, I
Okay.
heard it too.
Okay.
No, no.
Not the
Thank
voices
God.
in your head.
See, I watched
again.
the Walking. I watched The Walking Dead, so I'm kind of scared
yeah,
now.
Yeah, exactly.
She doesn't watch
Yeah.
TV. She has no idea what that is.
No.
Oh, you
I've
never watched The Walking Dead?
but
It's a great show, isn't it?
No,
This second
not TV.
season kind of sucked.
Yeah,
but the
it wasn't
end
as
was
good.
great.
Yeah,
Finally.
the end was
God,
good,
It
yes.
dragged. It
All right.
dragged.
Zombies.
Wouldn't you shoot that son though, Carl?
Oh, I totally shoot him.
I know. I
didn't
shoot the
watch it.
wife.
No, Carl's the one that always causes the trouble. He's always wandering off and
but
getting.
where's the wife? Watch him.
Yeah, that's
You're
true.
in the,
The
middle
wife-
of a zombie. She's
yeah.
like, oh yeah, Carl. It's like 8:00 at night. Oh yeah, Carl's out in the woods again, didn't he? There's only zombies.
Zombies. That's it.
And,
That's okay.
and do you want to stay at this farm
He
for a whole
follows the trail.
season?
Yeah.
God almighty, it was horrible. It was. I love zombies, so I can't
I'm
help.
so
I'll
glad
watch
I don't
them.
Me
have
too.
television.
But God,
My wife and I are going through the Pride and Prejudice and Zombies series
Oh,
on
yeah.
audiobook.
Nice. I like Pride and Prejudice.
Because she loves
That's good
Pride and
stuff.
Prejudice. I don't. I think
I
all
do,
of Jane
yeah.
Austen's books are exactly the same.
Ah.
And they are. They all have the same
Foul
plot.
play. Yeah,
And so
you're right.
you throw zombies and ninjas in there. It's a lot better.
Yeah, much better. That's true.
Yeah.
Zombie Laura Croft. I
What
don't know.
were we
I said
talking
that. I don't know. No,
Oh,
the voter turn.
well,
You know,
yeah,
just the
the
fact
voter
that they do not exist. Like I literally wanted to tell everybody. I'm, you know, hush, everybody, earmuffs. You know, but I wanted to tell everybody on my Facebook, everybody that just has complained this entire year about what's going on, and the voter turnout was small. What is it? Less than
7%,
7%?
what you said. I don't know what it
7%?
was.
Like I think it was
Maybe
less than 7.
I was
Maybe
gonna
it
say
raised.
it was maybe a combined Democratic primary was like more like 2%.
Yeah. There you go.
Well, but you know,
how can you change anything? How can you do any be effective in any way if
But
you're
yeah,
not
you're talking about
participating in it?
the two primary Democratic and Republican primary combined.
Yeah.
7% turnout.
Yeah.
7% of the
7.
population of Texas is deciding who the nominees are going to be. And if you
7%.
want to talk about the U.S. Senate race,
and this is a presidential year too.
yes, exactly.
And that's when you get more.
They should
And
like 12%.
and if you-
No, they should have got more in a presidential year. This
Yeah.
is a president. They should have get more. People should be because people kind of pay attention
No,
during
and
this
that's
year.
the thing. Most people do that, but you know, we've been preaching a lot. Is you have to be involved on a local level. You have to participate in the primaries. These are your precincts. These directly affect the neighborhoods that you live in.
And if you're talking about, and it was one of the things we talked about on election night was that you get people complain and complain and complain.
Yeah.
No, nothing changes. It doesn't matter. We get to November and it's a choice between the lesser of two evils.
Right.
Well, you know what? If you vote in what typically is March, this year was May.
Yeah.
But if you vote in the primaries, you know you've got a lot of choices.
Yeah.
There were 4 candidates in the
either
Democratic
side.
primary.
You have
On the
a lot of
Republican
options.
side, there were 7 or 8. So you have a lot of options, but you don't show up to vote when those options
No.
are there, and then you end up with 2 candidates
With
that are
two.
basically the same,
Right.
and you get to vote for them in November, and then
No.
then you complain that you have to choose between the lesser of two evils.
Yeah.
How about you show up when there are a lot of candidates to choose
Yeah.
from?
Well,
Exactly.
On top of that, no one ever votes third party.
No.
No one ever votes third party. You know, and
No,
you
I
can't
mean-
vote. If we have a
Here's
corrupt
the
two-party
thing, though.
system,
Yeah,
and you say we can't vote for a third party.
Yeah, but 2-party, 3-party, add as many parties as you want. It's about the ideas. So you're voting for the. I say
you-
for the solutions. I'm voting for solutions. I like the fact that you attach solutions to the things that you were wanting to do. Because you're attaching an actual idea on how to solve that problem and something that is actually obtainable.
And honestly, from the Republican side, that's why I liked Mayor Leppert the most, was because during the debate, he was the only one of the 4 Republicans that didn't just answer every question with, I'm going to get rid of Obama.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
isn't that
And
great?
whether or not
That's
you
the
agreed,
agenda.
whether or not you
Get rid
agreed
of
with
Obama.
with Leppert's
Yeah.
solutions that he had, he
Right.
at least was offering solutions, and so I had a lot of respect for him because
running
of that.
on the take down Obama campaign.
That's what the big problem I have with
Platform.
Republicans in general, especially Tea Party
Right.
Republicans, is when it comes to Obama, because I have to defend Obama a lot. And I disagree with Obama on a lot of policy.
Right.
But I
So
have
do
to
I.
defend him because you're making the dumbest fucking arguments ever.
Right.
I don't care about his
I mean,
birth
you have to at least
certificate.
come to me
I don't
with
care about his
logic.
religion.
Yeah.
I don't care about I don't care.
Yeah.
Stop making these retarded
Bring me a
arguments.
little logic,
Say-
something, and I'll be like, all right, you got me.
Say
You
on
know,
this
but-
policy, Obama's
yeah.
wrong because this happens. Draw me a map.
Right.
Don't draw me a little thing like a little evil figure with a little horns and stuff like that. That's not helpful. You're not helpful. You're being
Don't show me a
child.
picture of Hitler.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Please.
how can Obama and Bush both be Hitler?
Right.
Yeah, right?
Both
There's
of them
no way.
can't be Hitler
There's
at the same
no way.
time.
It was
You
funny.
can't-
I
not
went
back
to
to
the.
back.
I went to
No
the.
way.
Actually, completely by accident, I went to the Jon Stewart, Stephen Colbert rally in D.C.
Oh,
they
that's
had,
aw-
and
I love Colbert.
and it was just because my wife and I had gone to D.C. We go actually about once a year
To protest?
and just to protest.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, of course.
I had a friend who was working at the White House. And went
Oh,
to go
yeah.
visit him. I have a new friend that's living in D.C. And but we went. We booked our trip, and then I don't know, 3 or 4 days later, they announced that they were having this big rally. So we're like, "Cool, we'll go."
Yeah.
And there was a guy in a Hitler costume walking around with a sign that said, "No, I'm Hitler." And I thought that was one of the best ones.
Well, at least
Great.
at
Because
least
it's-
say
I'm Hitler.
at least
yeah.
call someone a Stalin for
Yeah.
once in a while. I mean, not everybody can be Hitler.
Yeah.
Stalin was
Stalin.
a bigger badass than Hitler was.
Yeah,
Anyways.
but if you think about how ridiculous the comparison is, you're talking about somebody who killed 20 million people.
Right.
I know.
I mean, come on, you're talking about someone you disagree with politically
Right.
versus someone who killed 20 million people.
It's not
a
even
fair
you know what's
comparison.
funny?
That's true.
It's funny. I wish it was they disagreed politically. That's not even the issue.
Yeah.
Plus, if you look at Obama's record, he's a moderate,
Yeah, oh, very moderate.
very moderate to a
I love him.
you know, but
Yeah.
he's not.
I support him all the
not
way.
different that much
No
different
problem.
than Bill Clinton, or probably maybe live more to the
I
right
love
because
Bill Clinton, too.
the whole Republican Party's
Loved
pulled
him.
everything in politics to the right.
Right.
So he's more to the right than Bill Clinton was.
Right.
He's not this crazy socialist that they
Right.
think he is. They're trying
Yeah,
to paint him
Bill
as
Clinton and-
he's
and-
more.
and
he's
his
just as
wife,
much
they were more
socialist as
radicals.
the Republican
Well,
Party
well,
is.
if you look at the Affordable Care
Hair
Act, yeah, Hair Care Act,
Yes.
the Affordable Care Act, it's almost the exact same plan that Bob Dole proposed in 1994.
yeah.
Interesting.
And
yeah,
and
kinda
so
the same.
and
Yeah.
so it's not like he's this wild, crazy socialist liberal that
Right.
they try to make
He's
him out
just
to
sort of
be. He's very moderate.
Right.
Well,
yeah.
he's the
He is.
same. The thing that's why they have to paint him with these pictures because he's just like them, or
Right.
not. His degree away from them is so minute.
He has
we have
morals.
to make him.
I'm sorry. I feel like he has morals. He had a good I think he had a decent upbringing, and he has family. He has real family values, and I think he's struggled. And I see, I imagine I know him well, and his wife. And
Well,
his
I tell you,
daughters,
that's
and,
why
you
you
know,
say you kind of struck on a little bit earlier about how I think you started to say that you didn't think Obama was going to have trouble beating Mitt Romney.
No.
And I don't either. I say that
No.
all the time
Right.
because what it's going to come down to, unless the economy just tanks or something,
It has a
What?
real.
No.
unless
Did you
that
hear
happens,
something?
no, I don't have any inside information.
cool.
But unless that happens,
Yeah.
it's going to come down to who you can relate to, who understands what you're going through, and it's not going to be Mitt Romney.
That's
Not
his
Mitt.
problem.
And
It's not
that's
no
his-
one's
that's
rich.
the biggest problem.
No
yeah.
one's that
I
rich.
am actually looking forward to the election, to the debates, because I
Oh,
just
it's
can't
gonna be
wait
an
to see who has to
embarrassment.
go
I
up
think-
against
Oh, okay.
Obama.
Yeah, like I was saying
sorry,
earlier
but-
about him not knowing what it's like not to be rich. It's like the $10,000 bet he tried to make with
Well, that-
Rick Perry.
no.
That wasn't really that bad because you said that's something that anybody jokes around. I bet you $10,000. I bet you
No,
$1,000.
he meant it.
But that's a
He
saying
meant it.
joke.
That's nothing for him.
But just because he's rich, it makes it look worse.
Exactly.
I will
If-
bet
if
you
any-
a dollar.
I don't bet.
Oh, okay.
I
don't
can't
have
afford
a
to
dollar.
lose.
I don't have a dollar.
I can't.
Never mind.
But that's a thing. Even though that's a thing kind of kids do.
Yeah.
As an adult, you probably wouldn't say, "I bet you 10,000." Because actually,
You
you're right.
would if you
as
had
a thought, as an adult,
$10,000.
as an adult, you wouldn't make that type of bet
don't
probably
know.
because that's more of a childish thing.
Yeah.
to
Unless
do.
you had
Petty
10,000 in your
cash.
pocket
You know,
like Mitt
petty
Romney,
cash.
right?
Yeah, exactly. Five in each
just
pocket.
that's your sweat money. He's like, I'm sweating. He grabs his money and just throw it away. Just
Is
throw it
that
away.
cash in your pocket? Sorry.
It's my sweat money.
My sweat.
Yeah. All ones.
Yeah, just
I got to go to southern states. It gets humid.
yeah, just drive myself and just throws it
Yeah.
in the fire.
Exactly.
Throws it in the fire. I can't reuse it. It's got my sweat on it.
Ew.
It's ew. It's
Ew.
gross.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. So
Where were we?
Yeah, I don't think he has a shot. I really don't. I don't see
Oh,
how he does.
no.
I mean, they have to make it a horse race.
I would
Oh,
really
The
yeah.
like
news
it.
has to make it bigger than what he is. I mean, yeah, it's the
So
presidential.
I would like it to be him and Sarah Palin because that would be just awesome. I just want to be entertained. That's all.
It's not
you
gonna
know?
be
I
Sarah
feel like-
haven't
Palin.
even
Please.
picked a vice president
I think
nominee.
it-
No, they won't until
She's
right
been
before the
training.
convention.
Well, the thing
they
is-
they may have already picked.
you
They
don't-
may have already decided.
I'm telling you, she's
They
gone
won't-
through some rocky training. She has gone through. She was in the mountains. She was lifting things.
It won't
learning stuff
because of Sarah Palin. It won't be a woman,
maybe retaining.
and it won't
things.
and it won't be
Yeah.
a governor, or it won't be a first-term governor.
Oh,
Because of
somebody
Sarah
with
Palin, it
experience.
won't be
Yeah,
either
that's
one
true.
of those
She
things.
kind of
And for Mitt Romney, he's
she
so
kinda set
boring.
the-
It's going to have to be somebody really boring that won't outshine him.
like Newt Gingrich.
No, Newt Gingrich isn't boring.
can't
That's
do
for
it.
sure.
No,
You can
he's
say what
not.
you want to about him, but he's not.
He
I don't know.
puts his foot in
face
his mouth.
bores me. Yeah, that's
He
true.
puts his foot in
If
his
you
mouth
pay
like nobody.
attention.
Like he is.
No,
horrible.
I know. I've heard him.
And he's got a horrible record
Usually
too.
fall
Yeah,
asleep.
no, it was so sad when it comes to people, him picking people that people were picking each other. Like,
Mm-hmm.
no, I'm not going to be vice president. He wants to run for vice president. They were
Oh,
pointing
yeah.
at other senators.
That guy will be a good vice president.
And like-
Rubio did it with somebody. I can't remember who
and
he
the other
pointed
guy
at.
turned around and pointed back at Rubio.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
like, I don't want to be vice president. I
You know
think
what?
Rubio
Yeah.
will be
Yeah,
like,
right.
that's
That's
embarrassing.
what they should
Yeah.
do.
No.
This election like a
And that-
dodgeball game. You know, like selecting for dodgeball. You just line people up and you just
Yeah.
throw balls at
Whoever's
you know,
last
you're
man
like, whoever's
stand-
last man standing.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
that's it.
Well,
Dodgeball.
and that's a pretty good indication that they don't think they can beat Obama.
Oh,
because
no.
if they thought they were actually going to win, everybody would be lining up to be vice president.
yeah.
Well, if they thought they could win, Chris Christie would have ran.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You
That
should
was the-
totally line up for that.
Honestly, I don't think Chris Christie would want to deal with
Chris
the
Christie?
crap in a Republican primary.
He might. Well, I don't know if he would, but I think he's the only. That's the one they try to push in.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's like,
Mm.
I don't want to go against Obama because it's hard. Incumbent. It's not
yeah.
even
You know,
Obama.
the
It's incumbents.
only
are
time
hard
an
to beat.
incumbent is lost in the last 50 to 100
Mm.
years, I can't remember which it is. It has only been when they've had a
Right.
primary challenger.
Oh,
Because
really?
it's weak.
A primate. Oh, yeah.
The challenger in
Somebody
the
that takes
primary.
down the primary. Yeah.
George Bush, George H.W. Bush.
The third party candidate, Ross Perot.
Yeah,
Took
but he got challenged in the Republican primary as well by Pat Buchanan.
Yeah.
Jimmy
Good.
Carter got challenged by Ted Kennedy, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm forgetting another one that was it Ford got challenged by
By
Reagan.
Reagan.
Yes,
Reagan.
and every single one of those guys lost. Those are the only ones that have lost.
Oh yeah, because they were.
Wow.
You're right. They
Yeah.
were incumbents and they got challenged by.
And they got challenged.
Because you never get challenged really.
Yeah.
That's a fucking embarrassment
And here's
right
the
there.
thing: there
you
was
know.
a super PAC that came out and it came out and said that it was going to focus on taking out incumbents.
Yeah,
you know the super PAC. You know,
Yeah.
because that was one of the
Weren't
things.
they targeting an incumbent here in Dallas? Maybe.
Yeah, maybe, perhaps, you know.
I might have
but-
heard something about that.
Yeah, they were targeting somebody. Anyway, but that's the thing. It's just kind of setting up I don't know, knowing the right people, the contacts, the super PACs. Everybody can spend their money and kind of make it flow however the hell
I know,
they
that's-
want to do it. If
that's
people
what's
do not
scary.
come out and participate, if you do not come out and participate,
Well, it's like the Koch brothers
It's
spent all
already-
that
it's
money to
already-
get Scott Walker elected,
Right.
and one of the first things he did was sell off the public utilities in a no bid sale to Koch Industries
yeah.
or a subsidiary
It's
of Koch
like-
Industries.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
I heard
That's
you.
crazy. You
Yeah.
hear my phone? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I heard your phone.
blowing up.
That's all right.
Yeah, I actually went to elementary school with a guy named Scott Walker, and I had a big crush on him.
Right.
But I don't think it's the same guy.
not
No, it's
the
not.
same one?
But-
No.
He's a little bit
but,
older.
But when I heard his name, I was like, "Who's Scott Walker?" And I go and look, and I was like, "Oh no!" Unless he aged really poorly.
But he got
Yeah,
money.
you know, he was smoking in the 4th grade, so
Yeah, it does age you.
it does a little bit. I
Yeah.
started in the 6th. I waited till the 6th.
Yeah.
grade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Veronica's, she's really 24.
That's right.
The age, 19.
Yeah. Right.
19.
Okay.
It's
Old
smoking
my
age.
daughter is. Yeah. Old enough to drink. That's for sure. Did we
Uh,
just lose? What?
Yeah, no, we're still here. We're still here.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what we
I
were
don't know.
talking
I just want
about.
to talk about how pissed off I was that not a lot of people showed up. But you need to seriously keep going, push for something, and everybody that's out there needs to focus on it's time to run for office, do something, participate, show up. Hold
Well,
it, hold
it's
it,
well,
get the,
you know it's the,
rally
you know
your
the
community.
old saying you deserve the government you get, and that's
Yeah,
pretty much
Absolutely.
that's
exactly.
pretty much what it is.
You
I
get
mean,
what you pay for.
And you know, that's one of
and-
the things I when I was campaigning, when I'd go to like blue light groups or Hispanic groups and
Right.
and say, I'd tell them, I'm like, you're 37% of the population. You can decide the outcome of any statewide election you choose to.
They don't
But if
understand
you
that.
don't,
Yeah.
you're as guilty as every person that passes legislation targeting your community. It's
Absolutely.
your fault. If you don't have good schools in your neighborhood, it's your
Right.
fault because you didn't vote.
Yeah.
So you're just going to have to live with it. Take some responsibility. And it seemed to go over well. We'll see if they.
That's really
actually-
great. Yeah.
They
Next time
turn
let me go
out.
and I'll translate for you.
There
while
we
you're
go.
there. Yeah,
There we go.
yeah.
That-
I
that's
don't
what
know.
you made a mistake.
Your counting was getting kind of off
I know,
earlier,
yeah.
so I don't know. I
She
might
got stuck on 27.
I was gonna say I might need to get a different translator.
Yeah, but I have trouble in English too. So
Oh, okay. All right.
counting up.
Yeah, numbers?
Yeah.
It's not Spanish
I'm used
then.
to counting like debt that goes in.
Oh, okay,
negative.
you were going the wrong
I
way.
was going the wrong way. I was like, wait, that's progress. No, that would be
You're
weird.
supposed to count down.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, deficit? Something?
Alright.
What are you doing?
We're going to look at some. We'll talk about a
All
couple
right.
news stories. We haven't talked about news
Alright.
stories,
Yeah.
so we can finish this off. The biggest news story probably of the weekend was
Where you went wrong.
the Commerce
I know.
Secretary. Did y'all read this? Did y'all see this?
The
I
what?
did. I
He's
did.
the Commerce Secretary.
Got busted for hit and run.
Nah.
3 times.
Wow, 3 times.
I think he hit 3 vehicles.
Oh.
Oh wow.
And
So
then
in
when
one time.
well,
Okay.
technically, yes, I guess.
That's like a ricochet effect. You can't
well, if you
count
shoot
together. Bam,
well,
bam,
no,
bam.
if you shoot 3 people, it's not.
It still counts as shooting
What
3
if it's
people.
one bullet?
It still would
still
count as shooting 3
yeah,
people.
it's still
Oh, that's
3
true.
deaths. Yeah.
One
so
bullet.
yeah,
One car.
I think it was he hit one car, ran off, drove off, and hit another car and drove off. And when they finally found him, they said he was let's see.
He was drunk.
Well, he was
What? But that's legal. Oh wait, no. Drinking's legal. Not drinking and driving.
He was alone. And what this is their
Okay,
statement.
good.
The White House spokesman said
Carry on.
the Commerce Secretary was alone. He had a seizure, and he was involved in an accident. That's all the White House
Oh.
spokesman said. Because he had a
Called him a
seizure.
drunk.
And he quit having a seizure and then drove off.
That was my problem with the theory
here's the thing,
because
though.
usually a seizure doesn't
Well, but
stop.
if you have a seizure, you don't know what's going on, and so you come out of it. He probably could have came out of it and was like down the road and parked and like, what the hell happened?
Well,
And
I
then
think
just took
what it
off.
was is he drove like
ah.
another 5 minutes and
Right.
hit another car and then drove another 5 minutes and I can
I'm
see
sorry,
you
I
hitting.
don't know why I'm laughing.
If you hit one car with a
Right.
seizure, I assume you would just run
Leave
to
a
the
note?
side,
Like roll off the road or
side.
something. Yeah.
I don't assume you can keep going straight.
Right.
That would have been the hard thing.
Well,
And I don't know how hard
do
he
we
hit these
know
cars.
that he went straight though? I want to see a reenactment.
I don't know. I don't think they have a
Bring
video.
in the
They
legal
don't have
team.
surveillance
We got a
video.
Yeah,
legal
it
team.
happened late at
Right.
night.
Yeah, reenactment
No, it didn't. It happened at 5 p.m. So,
during the day.
Yeah, during the day.
It's 5 o'clock.
Who was it?
And it's
though?
and this was in California
oh,
too.
really?
He's a
Zombies. There were
commerce.
zombies there.
So he lives in DC. So it was really like 7 o'clock.
Oh.
Or no, 8 o'clock.
Whoa, is it 8 o'clock there?
Well,
3 hour difference
I should
between
be-
California.
well, maybe he
and
wasn't
DC.
used to it, but he was at 5 o'clock in Washington. He was in California when he did it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If it was 5 o'clock in California,
Yeah.
that's 8 o'clock Washington time. He
That's
might have
true.
already started.
He started
I'm so
getting,
confused.
drinking or sleeping because he's old. He's 68 years
Oh,
old.
maybe he
I'm
was
not sure-
sleeping.
Yeah.
68. There should be a law against that.
Means 68.
Yeah.
I don't think the
Yep,
libertarians would
there
agree with
should
you on
be.
that one.
Yeah, yeah. Just
Okay.
68. You can
It's-
skip straight to 69.
Oh, okay.
It did another thing was that 3 men followed after the first hit and run. These 3 guys followed him as he drove 2 miles up on San Gabriel Boulevard and called 911 before he hit a second car. And then I think he drove another.
Yay.
If I'm right, he drove another 3 miles and hit the third car.
Don't you
yeah.
think the guys following him would have noticed if he was having a seizure?
Right?
Yeah.
Unless it was a very subtle seizure.
Seizure. I don't think he was having a seizure. I
Yeah.
think it's kind of a bad cover story. He probably was.
Do you
drunk.
think he was? Yeah, he was drunk.
He's probably drunk.
So they didn't do a blood test or anything. If you
I
have a
don't-
seizure, don't they like stick you with stuff?
I'm
Take you
assuming
to the,
he probably. I don't know.
no.
No,
Alright,
no. It said he
whatever.
passed the breathalyzer test at the scene
Oh, really?
and submitted to blood toxicology.
There you
Maybe.
go. Let
Or
the
then
guy
again,
have a freaking seizure. My God, why is he driving?
or they
though?
just said, "Hey, you're the Commerce
felt-
Secretary. We can't really give you. we
Ah,
can't have you getting caught with
That's
it."
true. I
But
get a
one or
lot
the
of
other. It was
perks.
definitely strange because I don't know if a seizure can drive that. What a seizure you can. I can assume
Maybe
you
if
can push
it
the
hit
pedal.
like 1 or 2 cars like right there
No,
together.
Yeah. Well, but you can have a seizure. It's lights. So if he's traveling in a direction, lights are sort of flashing at him or anything like something could.
I'm
No,
surprised.
I mean,
throw him into
I
seizure.
believe he could have a seizure, but how would he have kept driving
kept
so
driving.
far?
Yeah.
What if he was
I would've
going like 5 miles an hour? You know, so
I
he
don't-
never took. How fast
they
was he
say?
going?
I didn't give me a speed.
What the hell?
Somebody call Obama.
Somebody, please. We need an
All I know
investigative
is,
reporter
is
right
that
now.
is the White House did not want to talk about this subject today. They kind of avoided it.
Did
they had one little
like
statement
the plague.
like the plague. That's what they avoided. We had another good story
Hey,
though
yeah.
today.
Oh, yeah?
It's probably one of the better stories, and I'll put it right here.
When I tell
The
stories, they're lies.
KK in Georgia.
Oh, yay!
And
That's my favorite
I
story.
think organizations should provide civic duties, and this is what the KKK wants to do.
Honey, you have to
In
make this
Georgia,
bigger.
they want. Oh shit, you're so blind. God damn it. They want to adopt a highway,
They do.
and which is actually, I mean,
it's called
they
the K.
that's the name of the
Is that what it's
group.
called? K?
They need to definitely put like a vowel in there somewhere. So no one can pronounce that.
Oh, KKK
Ah.
wants to adopt highway in Georgia.
A mile-long stretch of highway in Georgia.
That's true. I mean, I think everybody should be allowed to adopt. Pro-choice on adoption.
Yeah, this is according to the department's website. Any civic-minded organization, business, individual, family, city, council, county, state, or federal agency is welcome to volunteer in the Georgia Adopt a Highway program.
They're going to clean up that highway.
And this is what the first guy,
Many-
Harlan
many.
Hansen, is what he said.
Uh-huh.
You want to go first? You want to do it?
No, you do the first one.
Okay.
I got, yeah.
Is the guy in the clan named
This is what he
Harlan?
said.
Yeah,
Harlan
That sounds like a
Hansen.
clan name.
We just want to clean up the doggone road.
We're not going to be out there in robes.
That's Harlan Hansen who filed the application.
Sounded
That's what
way
he
better than the break.
told the paper.
Yeah. They're not going to be wearing the robes. So all's good. And, power to the...
Will they just be
People.
carrying
But-
their burning cross
But
while they're out there?
Representative Tyrone Brooks, head of the Georgia Association of Black Elected Officials, called on a state official to reject the application. This is about membership building and rebranding their name in a public way. I don't know if that's really
They
a good
do
way
need-
to.
you know what they should- it should-
they need
no,
to rebrand
it should
themselves.
be-
Because that'll make people want to join the
I
clan
got
because
this,
they're
guys.
picking up trash
Yeah.
on the side of the road.
I got this. It's
That's what they should call themselves.
that's what they should do. It.
It's not
Somebody-
KKK. It's KK.
Call my people.
And
My mom.
Did you just tell the clan to call your people?
Well, yeah. I mean, I've got an.
First of all, I didn't
advertising
even know you
scheme.
had people.
All right.
What
Well,
the
my
hell
mom and my
is
dad.
Oh,
My
okay,
mom-
all right.
Yeah.
I
They're
guess
cool like that.
they have certain terms
still
for their
support
leaders.
me.
Because if you read this next sentence, it's kind of weird. Isn't what Hanson,
From a
the same guy,
distance.
goes, "We are good, decent Christian Americans."
Uh-huh.
Hanson, the group's exalted
Exalted Cyclops.
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 Exalted
Does he have
Cyclops.
one big eye?
What we're trying to do is work with the logo community.
It says it's not the first time that
Probably
it's
sound
not.
for real.
Oh, cool! It's not the first time the KKK has participated in
No,
adopt. KKK has participated in Adopt a Highway program. In 2000, the KKK successfully adopted a part of Interstate 55 south of St. Louis after a federal judge
Oh,
ruled
nice.
that the mission.
Oh, in Missouri.
Missouri.
That's interesting.
See, they
They don't have a history. Do they have history with Missouri?
Well, it
Have they
kinda
been there
still
before?
south.
Yeah,
They had a-
Missouri was pretty racist too.
do,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know if
Really
they're still
bad.
racist, but they were.
I hope not. That would be sad. But
That's
I
where the
think-
story Muhammad Ali threw his Olympic medal into the
Oh, really?
St. Louis River. Yeah.
Ah, very nice.
I think I have one more.
I also threw my
You threw your
Olympic
medal?
medal? That's
my medal.
Oh, this is something you won't care about. It's something I care about. Before we go, I have to.
All right.
Did you watch the fights this weekend?
I didn't because I was. I didn't have anybody to watch it with. My fight watching buddy was in Toronto, so I didn't want to pay for the whole thing myself. But I'm enraged that Manny Pacquiao got
He
robbed.
lost.
It
He got
was
robbed. He didn't
horrible.
lose. Manny
It-
Pacquiao, in my mind, still hasn't
So,
lost in
payoff?
7 years.
It seems like this is the big controversy.
Yeah.
Bob Arum is the promoter for both boxers that were in the match. There have been rumors that Manny's his contract ends this year, and he's going to be like Floyd. He's going to represent himself. And Bob,
That's
who
ridiculous.
Timothy Bradley was the guy he's going against, he was his other undefeated star. So they made a big fight when they had Timothy Bradley win, which there's no. Timothy Bradley knew he lost. Even in his speech, he goes, "Well, I'm not." He asked, "Do you think you won this fight?" Well, I need to go back and watch the tape. If you say that as a fighter,
You
you
know
you
you lost, yeah.
because you
You
don't
lost.
say that. You go, "Yeah, I won. I was in there. I was beating him up. You know, it
Yeah.
could have went either way, but I know I took all the rounds." When you had to say, "Well, I don't know. I got to watch the tape."
The worst part, it wasn't even a close fight. All the articles I read said every single ringside sports writer had it scored at least 8 rounds for Pacquiao.
Really?
Harold Letterman from HBO, who's a former
Judge.
boxing judge, scored it 10 rounds to 2 for Pacquiao.
I kind of zoned out for a minute. So what you were saying is there was controversy in the results.
Just a little.
All right. Cool.
Yeah. It's
So
pretty.
what? I mean, technical, or no? It was
No,
at
it's,
the end.
it was a
12th
split
round?
decision,
Yeah.
15
Probably fell
13
asleep.
a split decision, but
Sorry.
Bradley gets the belt.
Yeah.
It's so horrible is that Pacquiao's the most famous person in boxing next to Floyd. Them
Yeah.
two are 1 and 2.
Yeah.
He's the pound for pound king right now. He's got the belts. And usually the way most sports work, especially boxing, you have to beat the champ. Not only did
Right.
this guy not beat the champ, he wasn't even in close. It wasn't even a close fight.
Right.
And they took away the
Points.
guy's belt. And everybody knows that it was either horrific
Trying.
judging or Bob Arum paid the judges off.
I think the headline for the Yahoo Sports story was Pacquiao dominates, loses decision.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it
Dominates
was
losing decision.
It was horrible. You had all these Twitter people talking about it in sports. They're just like, they had a poll of all these writers, their scores and who they picked. Out of like 98 writers, 97 picked Pacquiao, 1 picked Bradley.
Oh, really?
That's how dominant. It was like no way you could see Bradley because he was getting beat up. I mean, he was at the end of the fight.
Rules are
Pacquiao
the
gave
rules.
away. Rules are rules. There you go. Rules are rules. Hey,
What?
that's why he's not in the runoff.
Yeah,
Rules
yeah,
are rules.
rules
Exactly.
are rules. Yeah, no
Exactly.
shit. Damn it.
It comes
Sorry.
back at you.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Eventually.
All right, I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up
All right.
because we didn't get the
Yeah,
videos.
fun. Yeah, we couldn't get any videos.
well.
Next
We
week.
just had to talk to you the whole time.
I know.
Yeah. No, but thank you for what you
Yeah.
did, and I am definitely 100% behind you. Whatever venture you got going.
We'll show
Unless
you.
it's
We'll-
like
we'll-
something like on a farm.
We're sure that
I'm
we'll
not going
see
to
you in
a
the
farm.
future.
Thank you.
This,
Yeah.
this shouldn't be your own. I mean, hey, you learned.
Do you want to put your
Yeah.
picture on there? and
I
just,
know,
like-
and tell people that I went to heaven and God told me to run. I
Yeah.
know my
Exactly.
mistake. We'll fix
Exactly.
that next time.
I love
Oh,
it.
I did it too. That's
Yeah.
right here.
Exactly.
Yeah, you
God
learned
told
from
you
your.
to-
That would have
He
worked.
did.
Yeah.
I mean, you're running in Texas, right?
I know.
That should have been dead giveaway. If God doesn't tell you, then why are you doing it?
Why am I doing it?
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
I mean, that's God told him, and it
And
didn't work for him
she
either.
Yeah.
knows what she's talking about.
God is not a woman.
How do you know?
God likes to destroy the world. Women like to build stuff. No, women
Ah.
can be real. All right.
What?
All right.
Rulers.
This is your host, T.R. with V. I keep
Yes.
hitting this little thing right here. Go.
Yes. This keeps
All right.
going out, which is perfect.
Our guest, Sean Hubbard.
Sean Hubbard, thank you
you.
so much for being here. I cannot wait to see what you're up to next.
All
yes.
right.
All right. And on the
Look at
man on the board, Jansen.
Thank you guys. Wonderful show as always.
The first show on the new website.
That's right. If you want to watch
Yeah.
this show back, go to the show page and watch the archive so you
All
can
right.
catch some of the stuff you missed.
All right, boys and girls. See you
Yes.
again next week.
Yay. Bye.
Baby, I'm your sweet addiction. Leaving me will cause affliction. When we're together, there's no friction. I am what your body's missing. No longer waiting, wishing together.